I was always a backbencher. Mischievous, always standing out of class, always getting people into trouble. If I have made some prank and I've done something, the minute the teacher would turn from the blackboard, I'll be sitting just like that. If I've shot for a movie and the movie releases after 2 years, in 2 years I've already grown and I've done so much work. I'm like, मैंने क्या किया ये मैं हूँ ये मेरा performance है. I was supposed to do Dil Chahta hai opposite Saif, and at that time I was doing another film. I had to say no to Dil Chahta hai, which is one of my biggest regrets. You would have seen me doing
Hi, and joining us today for a very special flashback on Midday, we have the Khallas girl herself, Isha Koppikar.
Hi.
And though it's been so long, did you ever imagine people would still call you the Khallas girl after all these years?
Yeah,
That's the impact.
2002 and now in 22. So 20 years, 20 saal baad. Yeah, they still call me the Khallas girl. It's nice to have a name. I mean, not many have this, like a tag. Yeah.
But did you ever imagine it would be this big and people would still remember that performance till date?
I never thought so. I never thought that a special appearance in a film could, take you so long and people could remember you. And it was a cult movie and a cult song. I mean, I think it is. After that, it became like a standard where people said, "ऐसे खलास के जैसे shoot करेंगे." And then you saw a lot of songs shot likewise, similarly.
And we do know you started out as a model and of course the South industry as well.
That's right.
But what we don't know much about is your growing up years. So what were you like as a child?
I was very mischievous. I was extremely boisterous and loved food. That continues till date. So there are a lot of people out there who call me Koppikar instead of Koppikar. I have had a great childhood. I've celebrated every festival with a lot of fervor and gusto, and I continue doing that, and I try to do that with Rihanna, and Rihanna also is very enthusiastic, exactly like me. And what else? I was extremely good in sports. I was very good in 7 tiles, Lagori we used to call it. I was very good in dodging. I was a state level basketball player, and 15 years ago I started martial arts. I am very athletic and I love sports. That's one thing about me, and I was very popular even in my school for extracurricular activities like drama and all. I've always been a drama queen. So every time there was a free lecture or period, there was I was always a backbencher. Mischievous, always standing out of class, always getting people into trouble, and straight face. If I have made some prank and I've done something, the minute the teacher would turn from the blackboard, I'll be sitting just like that. And people around me, my friends would be ha ha ha, they would invariably be thrown out. And they would be, Isha Koppikar, because of you we are always thrown out, and you are the one who initiates everything, you start everything, and we get thrown out and you sit in there with a straight face. So I'm still in touch with all those friends of mine. It was a girls' school. We had great fun. School memories are the best, and childhood memories are also the best. So I have had a great childhood. I mean,
so the acting had started right then also.
Acting started. I think I mean, I was, and even yesterday when I went to my friend's house, the first question they asked me, the parents, will you eat something? I used to break into everybody's house and ask for food. I want Maggie, I want omelette, I want मतलब जैसे कि मेरा ही घर है. I've always been like this, and I'm very loved by the people there, and it's, I don't know, I'm just blessed, I guess.
And you have done so many interesting films, and especially after Khallas, with Ram Gopal Verma. So was he a mentor of sorts?
I can consider him, of course, my mentor, because I didn't really get a breakthrough like that. It was epic, Khallas, and cult film. Everybody remembers the film, the song. It was one of its kind because you'd never really seen a girl who had a special appearance in a film, being on the hoardings. People came to the theatres to see this song, and after that I did a lot of work with Ram Gopal Verma. I did Darling, he presented Shabri, though he didn't direct it, but he presented it. There was one more, Darna Mana Hai. I did a lot of films, and I recently did a web show called it was actually called Kadappa, then they called it Dahanam, means the burning fire. So now we've shot season 2 as well. So they'll release season 1. I didn't have much of a role. I was more a sutradhar. I was more a narrator, and it's my narrative and it's my story through my eyes. The relationships and the interpersonal relationships between the gang lords and the mafia and me. So exactly like Narcos. Had hardly any scenes, maybe just the beginning and the end. The second season, there's a lot of me.
And you've had some pretty interesting films where you've shown your acting chops, like a Pinjar or a Ek Vivah Aisa Bhi. So what were those experiences like?
Phenomenal. Very enriching. And Pinjar we shot in Jaipur, and we shot with Divedi Saab and fantastic actors. I had Manoj Bajpayee and Sanjay Suri and Urmila and Priyanshu Chatterjee, and there was Sandili also, Sinha, and she's a friend. And then I had a great time shooting that film, Kulbhushan Ji and Lilith Dubey. She's also a Virgo just like me. So I always tease her, I call her a sexy mom. You're very hot. So she's also a fantastic actor. She does a lot of theatre. So I had a great time. I still remember it was during then that I had got a call from Ram Gopal Verma and had come to shoot Khallas in Bombay, and I shot Khallas and I went back. Okay. Till then I was not the Khallas girl. Okay. It was just during the shoot of Pinjar that this happened. Yes. So I will never forget Pinjar, because I had left Jaipur, come back to Bombay sometime I think in the month of October, and I shot, and then then it's history.
And so the other film, Ek Vivah Aisa Bhi, which people really appreciated you for. So do you feel that initially it didn't get its due, but now people are talking about it?
Yeah, I think digitalization has done good to a lot of films. A lot of films kind of went unnoticed, probably because they were not released well or whatever issues that they may have had. But even Shabri is one of my films which won a lot of critical acclaim, and I was noticed because of my performance, but didn't really do well. But it did really well once it came on the OTT platform. So did Ek Vivah Aisa Bhi.
So do you feel OTT has really changed things? Like you are doing
yes.
series also?
Yes, it has. Movies. It has. There's a lot of scope for actors, and you don't have to keep waiting for a film. Also, the whole the transformation time and the whole transition, and as an actor, when you start working on a film until the film releases, that growth becomes very slow in a movie. Because if I've shot for a movie and the movie releases after 2 years, in 2 years I've already grown and I've done so much work that by the time the movie releases after 2-3 years, it's dated. I'm like, मैंने क्या किया, ये मैं हूँ, ये मेरा performance है, मैं तो वैसे ही मेरी, I'm very critical about my own performance. I'm just too strict with myself, and I keep putting my willpower to test all the time, and that's how I am. I think I should be a little easy. But then that's how I am. So then, so I was saying, now OTT, what OTT does is this entire time has it has concised, and you shoot and you release it. And there's no release कि theatre book करना है, exhibitors की झंझट, ये सब नहीं है. Shoot करो, release करो.
And even back then, your choices were quite unconventional. Even a Kya Kool Hai Hum, like I think actors would have not considered it back then. Like they would play safe.
Oh, why not?
Yeah.
I think the way it was narrated to me in Ekta's office by Sachin and Pankaj, the writers, the way they narrated it to me, any actor would have given his left, right arm, left, right leg, whatever. But अब समझ में आता है ना लोगों को. You know what I mean? I think I was too forward in my thinking.
Yeah, no, today it's so normal, but back then it was considered,
And in fact, out of that entire franchise, I think that's the only one that did well. Yeah. After that, there are 2 more. The first part was the best.
And so you have always been honest about projects that didn't pan out the way they were narrated to you also. So did that make you wary of trusting people after that?
I mean, yes, you have trust issues then. Because everybody kind of creates a flowery picture about their project, and ईशा जी ऐसा रोल है कि आपने कभी लाइफ में नहीं किया होगा, क्या फिल्म है, इसके बाद आप 10 करोड़ की हीरोइन बन जाओगी, 50 करोड़ की हीरो, you know what I mean? The very filmy talk is given to you, but you have to weigh pros and cons, and you have to understand, you have to take some advice. And I didn't have anybody in the industry. I came from a completely non-filmy background, you know, family of doctors. Where will I go and ask anyone? I mean, sometimes the kind of films that I've taken have not done so well, the projects that I have signed, and I have left projects that I feel, oh God, I wish I was a part of it, only solely because I was committed and I'd given my dates. तो वो भी मुझे कितने लोगों ने बाद में बोला कि यार ईशा तू तो बहुत ज़्यादा ही सोचती है, you know, लोग dates देते हैं लेकिन फिर नहीं करते हैं. But I'm not like that. No, I can't help it now. So I was supposed to do Dil Chahta Hai opposite Saif, and at that time I was doing another film, Pyar Ishq Mohabbat. I had to say no to Dil Chahta Hai, which is one of my biggest regrets.
Yeah, surely.
You
That would have been.
That
would have been lovely for sure. But I think that's an actor's life. You have to, you know, you never really know what works and what won't. So.
The end of it, you know, one has to be content, one has to be happy. You win some, you lose some. कभी कुछ होता है, कभी कुछ नहीं होता. But end में, you know, you got to be, ठीक है, I'm happy, I'm grateful. Thank you God for everything. It could have been worse.
Yeah.
Probably if you think that way, then you...
Absolutely. And you've always been open to multi-starrers as well. You have to be a secure actor to do that also.
Yes.
So, were you always that person who never really, you know, thought about who else is with me in this?
No, I never really thought of it. I only focused on my bit, and I focused on how important and solid my role was, or substantial my role was. And sometimes multi-starrers work also, especially when you start your career. You need solid backing. You know, I wouldn't deny that. You either need to work in a huge project, which is a great banner, which is a great producer, a superstar hero, or you need to work in a multi-starrer, which is backed and has a good ensemble of actors, so that the whole film is not on your shoulder. Sometimes it's nice to have a film on your shoulder. So you have to, हर चीज़ का एक, you know, भेलपुरी होनी चाहिए. सब कुछ same नहीं होना चाहिए.
And you have a lot of exciting projects coming up as well. So
Yes.
please tell us about those.
One released. I have another one. I have a film called Loktantra. I Love You Loktantra that released, which did pretty well, much more than I expected it. It's like I told you, I'm my biggest critic. Hope for the best, be prepared for the worst. But after that, now I have a series called Suranga. It's about a bank heist, and I play the deputy bank manager, and I've got a fab role in that. I love it. And after that, I have a South film, which I shot in 2019. And because of the pandemic, of course, then it got delayed, and then we finished portions in 21. And the film finally was complete in 21, and now it's gone for post-production. Now, it is completely, it's a science fiction, and it's all CGs, computer graphics. So, if you've taken 1 year to shoot, it's going to take 1.5 years for you to finish the film, because each frame needs CG. It's about an alien, and one of its kind. You've never seen something like that in our country yet. So yeah, so this is a multilingual. It's going to be in 5 languages, in Tamil, Telugu, Kannada, Hindi, all. But it's taking time. You know, when good things have to happen, it takes time.
True, true, true. And also
That's
now,
what it is.
Yeah, and now you're also a mom to a Gen Z kid. So
Yes,
how is that?
Yes.
What is
Gen
that
Z.
like?
My God, I mean, they have a mind of their own. They are so aware. They just know what they want. I think it's amazing, honestly. I really think it's great. I think हम लोग पागल थे. एक को जब देखती हूँ ना, मुझे ऐसे लगता है मैं पागल थी. मतलब एकदम भोंदू. कुछ नहीं आता था हमको, है ना? आज के Rihanna is 8 years old now, and Rihanna at 8 would be what I was at 14.
Yeah.
So they're so aware, they're so mature, they know everything. And Rihanna, she is a very spiritual child. So from day one, I've kind of instilled spirituality into her. But that's the maximum I can do, give her values. And as a parent, what else? I mean, and education. She is very, very extremely close to me. She's fun. She's got a great sense of humor. And very, very affectionate. So I have a great time with her. I miss her when she goes to school. I really look forward to, you know, going and dropping her, picking her up, spending time with her. We do outings together. I love spending time with her.
Yeah, and any of your films that she's watched, and what was her reaction like?
She loves Aaj Ki Raat and Ishq Samundar. And my films, I can't show her Shabri. Ek Vivah will be too much for her because Kya Kool Hai Hum again I can't, because, you know, of the humor, the comedy. I've shown her some of my web shows, but yeah, if she sees me, you know, in trouble, she cries. In one of the web shows, I'm the mother. There was a very nice show called White Matter I did for Disney Hotstar. Very nice. It's about a brain transplant and how a rock star's brain goes into, like a piece of his brain is attached, transplanted into mine. So I live two lives, his life and my life. And I have a daughter in that. I'm a single mother. She was crying, how can you have another baby when I am there? I'm like, okay, fine. तो मैंने बंद ही कर दिया. मैंने कहा अभी टाइम है, अभी नहीं दिखाऊंगी उसको, बाद में दिखाऊंगी, जब भी देखेगी देखेगी.
And we are hoping to see a lot more of you
me too.
on screen.
Me too. Even I'm hoping to see myself a lot more on screen.
Thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Subscribe to Midday India. Get direct notifications on all our videos by clicking on the bell icon.